71 would-be Republican congressmen, 7 would-be Republican senators, at least 3 would-be Republican governors are opposed to abortion even for rape or incest. Yet the GOP is holding a slight edge among women voters in polling for the midterms. That's next. First, get out your pitchforks and torches. Time for tonight's worst persons in the world. The bronze to the Postmaster General of the United States, John Potter. He has announced he will retire in December. His last act, an attempt to raise postal rates and eliminate Saturday delivery. This after a loss of $6 billion this year, which largely owes to so much business and communications now being done on the internet. Mr. Potter announced his retirement via email. The runner-up, Congresswoman Jean Schmidt of Ohio. She addressed the Cincinnati Catholic School Assembly and gave the students some of her opinions on politics of the day, including pro-life causes, abortion. Rational among us may not think very much of Congresswoman Schmidt nor of her attempts to indoctrinate the kids, but as long as a similar opportunity was provided to her opponent, Mr. Yalamanchili, this is free speech in action. Except for one detail, some of the kids hearing Congresswoman Schmidt's opinions were in the first grade and were as young as 6. The principal sent a note home to parents apologizing for the Congresswoman talking about abortion. But our winner, Stephen Broden, the self-described pastor running as the Tea Party and Republican candidate for the House from the Texas 30th. He's the guy, of course, who last week said violent revolution wasn't the Tea Party's first choice just at the moment, but it was still on the table. So crazy stuff from Broden comes with a pretty high bar. Sadly, he has cleared it. He said Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wants to exterminate African Americans.
She said, quote, we passed Roe v. Wade in order to control certain people group, unquote. The woman is a eugenicist, and eugenists believe that there are certain races that have privileges and are more evolved and developed than others.
Mr. Broden is, of course, wrong. In July, Justice Ginsburg recapped the legal history of Roe v. Wade for the New York Times and mentioned that there was a fear at the time that Medicaid could wind up being used to coerce women, even women of individual demographic, geographic, or ethnic groups. Justice Ginsburg went on to say none of that was the government's business, then or now. She was simply recreating the temper of the times. But Mr. Broden has watched one too many episodes of the Glenn Beck Show without wearing his helmet. So he apparently only hears every 4th or 5th word, and thus says such childish, slanderous things as that, and earns himself honors as today's worst person in the world.